Oh, hey girl, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Mango Tea. Mango Tea. Made in China, bitch. Drama Poodle, do you have drama for daddy? Tell me the drama. Goodness, Drama Poodle, I had no idea about that. Thank you for telling Daddy all the drama. You go off and do some more research. Bitch, Drama Poodle was just telling me all about the YouTube star who got caught up in the Church of Scientology. He went to one of their Scientology rehab programs. And is he sponsored by the Church of Scientology? I have all the tea for you today, so bitch, put on your seatbelt, get ready. We have a lot to talk about today. Cue the video. I wanted to talk to you about Shay Carl. Now, Shay Carl is considered one of the original vloggers on YouTube. He has almost about 2 million subscribers on his channel, and he also has a channel called Shaytards where he vlogs his family and his life, and he got caught up with the Church of Scientology through their rehab center called Narconon. Now, Shay was one of the original creators who helped start up Maker Studios. Maker Studios is a global digital media brand and the original creator network. Founded in 2009 as a collaborative content engine, Maker Studios continues to innovate by producing award-winning original series featuring global creators. Now, Maker Studios got sold to Disney for about $500 to $600 million. Update: Disney buys Maker Studios in deal worth $500 million plus. Shay had millions of subscribers, so many fans, and that all came crashing down. Things started to take a turn for the worse, I guess you can say, when he got caught talking to a cam girl on Twitter when he was married.
I want to say I'm sorry to my wife, kids, my family, and I want to say sorry to all of you. I hate myself for the pain that I caused my angel of a wife.
Now, Shay decided to blame this on his alcohol problem, and he decided to go and check into a rehab center. Now, Shay made a video explaining how he went to rehab and got all the help he needed at a facility called Narconon Ojai. He was also going to be bringing his cousin to check into this facility, and they'd be giving updates and vlogs and different things about his progress through the Narconon program. So you may be wondering, what is Narconon? And does it have a connection to the Church of Scientology?
Our next report tonight grows out of months of investigation into suspicious deaths at a drug treatment center. It's run by Narconon. If you've seen our previous reporting, then you know Narconon has strong ties to the Church of Scientology.
Some former patients say the facility's program is based on Scientology, and the staff refuses to give people the prescription medicine. After 3 deaths within a 9-month period, 3 families come together to share their stories about a drug rehab facility they think caused the deaths of their children.
So Narconon believes that addiction is not a disease, Narconon is not a 12-step program, and they also claim to be non-faith oriented, and it's not a religious or a faith-based program.
Narconon does not consider someone an addict for life. It does not regard addiction as a disease. Narconon is not a 12-step program, nor is it based on faith or belief. The Narconon program is a precise, step-by-step regimen that addresses all aspects of addiction and provides individuals with the tools they can use to lead drug-free lives.
So Narconon is based off of the works of L. Ron Hubbard, and in the Narconon program, you go through a sweat detoxification program.
Their theory is that you have all these toxins, drugs that are trapped within like your cells, like fat cells, muscle tissue, and for the first 30 days you sit in a sauna for 5 hours a day and sweat. They give you a bunch of vitamins, you drink a ton of water. I was drinking probably a gallon and a half of water a day. So you want to chug the water. First thing in the morning you start running. They want you to run for 30 minutes. Either walk or run if you can't run right away, and then that kind of gets your blood going, and then you get in the sauna and you just sweat out the toxins. You know, our bodies have all these toxins and stuff that we pick up from chemicals, stuff that we put in our own body, and anyways, so get used to the sauna, bud.
Narconon believes that drugs and toxins store in the fatty tissues of your body, and in order to get rid of those drugs and toxins in the fatty tissues of your body are by going through a sweat detoxification program.
The New Life Detox was developed expressly for people who have used drugs and designed to purge the drug residues from the body and so end their negative effects.
So basically what that is you take a mega dose of vitamins. Then you go and you run on the treadmill for about 30 minutes, and that gets all the vitamins and niacin and everything you've taken going through and absorbing in your body. Then you go into the sauna, and you sit in the sauna for about 5.5 to 6 hours a day. Now, of course, you're not in the sauna for the whole 5 to 6 hours. You can leave the sauna for a few minutes and go back in, but they believe that you're able to sweat out these toxins from your body, so then they no longer affect you or your mind, because if these toxins, they say, are stored in the fatty tissues of your body, and as you break down fat, these drug residues can go and spread through your blood system, and they believe things such as LSD are stored in your body for 7 to 10 years after you last used it. So they say to you as they try to sell this type of program, well, you know, what if you're driving your kid in the car, and because you used LSD in the past, what happens if that starts to activate in your body, and then you crash your car and you kill your kid? Now, wouldn't you feel really guilty? Now, you need this program not only for you and yourself, but you need this program to go and save your future child, or your child that you have right now, for example. So it's really important, even just for yourself. Like if you're at work and all of a sudden you feel sluggish, it may not be because you didn't have your morning coffee, but it could be because these past drugs and toxins and things that are in your body, even environmental, even pesticides, even if you microwave something. There's radiation, for example. You can sweat out radiation, they claim, on this program. Even sunburns. If you get a sunburn, they claim that it can turn on in this program and you'll sweat out the radiation from your body. So even if you haven't taken a hardcore drug, you may have had sun exposure. You may have had some form of radiation poisoning, for example. So they can basically sell this Narconon program to anyone. And it's the same exact program that I did in the Church of Scientology called the Purification Rundown. Narconon does the early stages of Scientology in their Narconon drug rehabilitation program. So you do the purification program, and you also do TRs and objectives. So these include drills where you stare at someone in the eyes for 2.5 hours straight. Now, if you blink, if you flinch, if you nod off, for example, they're going to make you restart over the 2.5 hours. So for me, when I was in Scientology, I would do a drill such as this, and I'd have to sit there, and I'd have to look at the person directly in the eyes for 2.5 hours. And it's really mind-numbing and really trippy, but they say, now you're able to look at someone in the eyes and confront them. You can confront life. You couldn't do that when you were on drugs, but now that you're on this Narconon program, you're going to learn the tools to be able to handle different things that come up in your life to prevent you from being able to relapse or go back to turn to drugs. So it really does sound great, because they promise up to, I've seen, a 97% success rate that you will not relapse, or you can go back onto the program for free or something like that. Now, this program will cost you probably about $30,000 to $45,000, and you're going to be there for usually about 90 days. Now, there's absolutely no question that this program is 100% correlated and affiliated to the Church of Scientology. These programs are staffed by Scientologists. It's all based on the works of L. Ron Hubbard, and they feed people from the Narconon program into the Church of Scientology. And the way that happens is through a field staff member. A field staff member, FSM, is a recruiter for Scientology, tasked with encouraging people to join the church and rewarded with a 10 to 15% commission per person recruited. Narconon organizations have been commended as such on a number of occasions. And as you can see here, from August 2001, Narconon is listed as number 3 and number 4 as the top groups that are recruiting people into Scientology. And I'm going to tell you how this pertains to Shay in a moment. So being a field staff member, basically I could be one. It doesn't mean you're on staff and you work for Scientology. You're like an outside sales consultant. So if I get you to sign up for the Narconon program, I'm going to get between a 10 and 15% commission on the amount of money it costs for you to join the program. So if it costs you $30,000, I'm going to get a 10% check. So I will get $3,000 in order for you to sign up for this program. Now this could almost be like a full-time job for me if I wanted to feed addicts into Narconon with the intention of getting them into and indoctrinated into the early stages of the Church of Scientology. Now obviously if you Google Narconon, especially Narconon plus Scientology, you're going to come up with a plethora of information about how Narconon is connected to the Church of Scientology. So as you can see here under Narconon and Scientology, it brings up a lot of official Scientology websites such as Scientology.org. You can see that here's a story about somebody who went to rehab at a Scientology treatment center, which is probably Narconon. And as you just click here on Google, you can see yourself, guys, if you type it in. There are plenty of different websites exposing Narconon. There's even a video right over here, Scientology Narconon drug treatment exposed. There's many different websites. If you type in, for example, alcohol treatment, you're going to come across Narconon or Scientology website as one of the top searches. And that goes with any other drug that you search. So you may not even necessarily know that it's associated to Scientology when you come across this website. They say it's holistic, it's all natural, you're going to be doing this wonderful program, you're going to be going into the sauna, and they make it sound like it's so glamorous. And especially if you've gone to other treatment centers in the past, and they're offering between a 70 and a 97% chance of success that you're going to stay clean and sober, I feel like most people would say, hey, it might be worth a shot. And especially if they don't say Scientology off the bat, or they say, oh, we base it on the works of L. Ron Hubbard. I think that that should be a red flag for anyone, but some people may say, hey, it may be worth a shot for me to try this out. I've been suffering or struggling, or the family member may be, really worried about their loved one, and say, let me send my loved one to the Narconon program. They are claiming that they're so successful in drug rehabilitation, so let me try this out. But it's really dangerous and toxic to a person. Now, when I was on my purification program, again, if you want more information, you can go to my Mangoetology channel. I do videos all the time about the Church of Scientology. I will link that down below. And when I was on the purification program at Scientology, not at Narconon, it's the same program again, but when I was on the purification program, I passed out in the sauna. I was unconscious. They had to put me in a shower to put cold water on me to try to get me to my body temperature to cool down, because I was in the sauna for so long. I was totally disoriented. I didn't know my name. I didn't know where I was. I was completely out of it. And they were holding my body up. My body felt like lifeless. They were holding my body up, and I was completely passed out, and they were throwing water on me to try to get me to cool off, because again, I was in the sauna for hours at this point. Now, instead of bringing me to the hospital or doing anything to help me for my heat stroke, they actually instructed me to go back into the sauna. Now, you may be wondering, why would they put you back in the sauna if you have heat stroke? Well, Scientology doesn't see it as heat stroke. They said he must be running out alcohol out of his system. He's actually acting drunk. Now, at this point, remember guys, I'm a dedicated Scientologist. I haven't drank any alcohol at this point. But they say, oh, it's alcohol that's re-stimulating in his body. He's sweating out alcohol. That's what they're trying to justify it as. So if he goes back into the sauna, he will then sweat out more of the alcohol, and therefore he'll be able to be clean, and then he can, go home later, whatever. So instead of being in the sauna for the 4.5, 5 hours, or whatever my daily regimen was, I was in the sauna for up to 8 hours that day. This could have killed me because I was not properly hydrated, my body temperature was through the roof, I was passed out in the sauna, and they brought me back in. So there's a lot of dangers, and it's not just me who's experienced things such as that. If you type in about the purification rundown online, or look it up on Google about Narconon, there's many deaths and cover-ups that are associated to the Narconon program. Now, going back to Shay Carl, he went to Narconon Ojai, and he claims that he was successful on this program. Now, his cousin is a user, and he wanted to put his cousin through the Narconon program. So like I was saying with this FSM field staff member 10 to 15% commission, if Shay then goes and puts his cousin through this program, especially if it's paid for by insurance, because you can use your insurance to go through this program. I believe, I'm not sure if they're now only taking cash, but I remember that at one point in time they were taking private insurance to go through this program. He goes and pays $30,000 with his insurance. Shay's going to get a $3,000 kickback. Now, as we know with any form of social media influencers or anyone who has a big audience on the internet, a lot of companies and brands and different things come and reach out to you and say, hey, can you promote our sunglasses? Can you promote our skinny detox tea? It's no different than a company like Narconon to want to work with someone like Shay Carl in order to promote the Narconon program. Now, why do I believe, again, in my opinion, that Shay Carl is promoting Narconon? Now, as we all know, Scientology is very secretive. They do not allow filming inside their buildings. Even if you are a current member, they do not like cameras. They're very paranoid, obviously, because they are under attack, because they are a very controversial criminal organization. So they don't want any filming going on inside. But as we see in Shay's video, he's allowed to film inside the Narconon building.
Excited for you, buddy. Fabian, it's Tyler. Tyler, Fabian. What's up, buddy? Welcome to Narconon. I should do the voice for this.
Now, there's other people that are walking around, for example, and in a rehab program, those patients have confidentiality. Just like if you're in an AA meeting, you can't go and film the other people there. They're anonymous. This is supposed to be like a medical setting. So why is Shay being allowed to film inside the Narconon Rehab Center? What kind of rehab lets you walk around and record the place? When I went to rehab, we weren't allowed to have phones, go on the computers. Once you get dropped off, no family was allowed to go back with you, eat lunch, none of that. And Scientology scares the hell out of me. Such a dangerous cult. They will strip off of any self-worth, bleed your bank account dry by making you pay for classes so you can climb the bridge to total freedom. So I thought that was very fishy because I've gone undercover with cameras, for example. They do not like cameras. They know if you have spy glasses on and stuff like that. So they're very paranoid about anyone filming inside any of their buildings. So there's that. But then I saw this post on Facebook. YouTube vlogger Shay Carl knows what it's like to face addiction. In February, Shay dropped out of the internet limelight to handle his addiction. Shay came to Narconon Ojai with the sincere desire to change his life, and now he wants to help his cousin Tyler in the same way. Watch the beginning of Tyler's journey. Proud of you, Shay Carl. Hashtag Narconon Ojai. Hashtag drug free for good. Hashtag Shay Carl. Now, Narconon was advertising that Shay Carl and his cousin were going through this program, that they're going to be giving updates on their Facebook page, as well as the cousin may even be blogging to give updates about the Narconon program. So, very interesting there that they're using one of their patients to promote the Narconon program. Did Shay get the 10 to 15% commission? I can't be 100% sure. Maybe Narconon even gave them both free rehab treatment in exchange for them to talk about the program on their YouTube channel or on their social media, so on and so forth. But as we can see on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and other social media platforms, this has greatly backfired against Shay and the Narconon company. For anyone who's looking to get help with your addiction, I would advise you to do some careful reading on the place that Shay is recommending, Narconon. It is owned by the Church of Scientology, which should already have red flags flashing in your head. Additionally, they use a non-scientific approach to treating addiction. There is no such thing as toxins hidden in your cells that can all of a sudden pop up and remind you of your addiction. This is just purely false and contradicts anything you'll find in medical research. Maybe this works for some, but I would strongly advise you to look for alternatives elsewhere. Good luck. Please be careful with seeking rehabilitation at Narconon. It's a Scientology-affiliated organization. There have been deaths that have occurred because of the purification rundown treatment that they do. Hold on, is Shay Carl into Scientology now? He went to rehab at Narconon. He should watch Leah Remini's Scientology: The Aftermath. Still watching Leah Remini's Scientology and The Aftermath, and they're talking about Narconon now, and I'm still screaming at the fact that Shay Carl went to a Scientology rehab facility. The people in his comment section were so mad, LMAO. Many people became outraged because of the connection between Narconon and the Church of Scientology. Now, I think that when you are a big YouTube star or a social media influencer, like I've said in the past, you do have a responsibility to your audience to not promote something that's necessarily going to scam them. Whether it's John Kuckian and he's advertising his made in China bitch products that could injure or hurt someone because of the ingredients in them, or if you're promoting a skinny detox tea, if you're promoting any type of nutritional supplement, you don't want to promote something until you're really 100% sure that things are FDA cleared, that things have safe ingredients at least at the very minimum, and you're not putting your subscribers or viewers in any harm's way. Now, do I think that Shay Carl didn't necessarily do his due diligence to look into the Narconon program before promoting it? Yes, because I'm sure someone who's on the internet is going to Google something. They're going to Google Narconon. When I first got into Scientology, I admit I did not Google Scientology before I actually got involved into a much more deeper position by going up the bridge to total freedom and all this sort of stuff, right? But, you know, someone who's a social media influencer, you think they would just type in Narconon and see that there's many deaths, there's many unsafe things that actually happen, people have gotten kidnapped, they've gotten raped at Narconon centers, there's a lot of danger that actually happens here. So for him to go on camera and promote this as a program that actually helps people when it really does endanger people's lives, not only just physically, because again, you're going through this program where you're in a sauna for many hours a day, and if your liver is compromised or any of your organs, and you take up to 5,000 milligrams of niacin a day, which is a very high and very dangerous amount. In comparison, you're supposed to take maybe 5 to 10 milligrams if you need to take niacin. You take up to 5,000 milligrams, it turns on this red rash, it's very uncomfortable, it can cause hallucinations, hallucinations and all these different things. And your body has to process that. But say you're an alcoholic and you've used substances, for example, and now you're flooding your body with all these vitamins and this excessive heat with sauna usage, it could, like it happened to many people, it could very much harm your life and it could end up in death. Then you're going on these different training drills. Like I said before, you're looking at people in the eye, staring at them. You do these drills. Walk over to that wall. Thank you. Touch that wall. Thank you. Turn around. Thank you. Walk over to that wall. Thank you. Touch that wall. Thank you. To orient you in a present time so you can feel the physical universe. You do all these very mind-numbing type of drills. And then you go on course and you're studying Scientology. They brand it as like a life skills course, right? And it says on the front, based on L. Ron Hubbard. Reading these different books and they talk about suppressive persons, people that are trying to tear you down, whatever. Then by the end of the program, if you do graduate and you finish the program, they say you should join staff. You should help other addicts that were like you to get through this program. Maybe some of these addicts are at very low points in their life and they don't have a place to live. They get basically recruited and say, hey, we can give you room and board here. You can help other addicts and change their life around. And then you have to go through more Scientology training and drills. So they really do capture your life if you are in a very vulnerable place, especially if you've gone through drug and alcohol treatment with the Narconon program. And just remember, guys, it's not just because I was a former Scientologist and I'm biased because I left the organization or something like that. I have basically gone through this program as a part of Scientology, so I have firsthand experience. If you actually look up the medical science behind this program, there's no doctor, there's no medical professional, there's no study that's been done that actually proves the efficacy of this program. If you want to detox, your body has natural functioning to actually process out drugs and toxins and that sort of stuff out of your body. You don't need to put yourself in a sauna for 6 hours a day at a Scientology-based program in order to get out these toxins. It's just kind of ludicrous that they advertise this as some sort of medical science. They don't have anyone at that program that's a nurse or a medical professional that actually overlooks this program. So say you're coming off of a heavy dose painkiller and this is your first day in withdrawals. They make you take like this calcium magnesium drink, which, you know, is supposed to calm your muscles. That's not what you're supposed to necessarily do when you're detoxing off a painkiller, for example. Then they say, oh, go into the sauna. So you're in the sauna and you're going through like active withdrawals and you're not actually being overseen by a medical professional while you're going through this level of detox. I just think it's very dangerous. And clearly, did it really work though? Because when Shay was driving his cousin to the Narconon Center, he said that they had a drink.
Full disclosure, me and Tyler got drunk that night at the airport on the way to rehab.
But if Shay was actually clean from alcohol from the Narconon program, and he's saying that it worked, but now he's drinking again, and I get it, people relapse, things happen, and especially with this sort of treatment, again, I'm not an expert, guys, on this, but what I'm trying to say is that Narconon claims that 97% of the time, they are going to have someone be sober for life. And here he is drinking again. If he is drinking again, go to a real alcohol program, whether it's AA-based or not, whether it's inpatient or outpatient. There are programs that actually help you overcome drug and alcoholism. And if you get in touch with the Scientologist and they say, hey, go to Narconon, Google Narconon, steer clear, and really look into this program because it's going to look really glossy on the outside. It sounds great. It sounds like this is a program that could really help. But once you actually look into it and see what it really is, and it's just a Church of Scientology recruitment center, then think before you hand over that $30,000 check. And Shay Carter, if you're watching this, how do you feel about sponsoring a Scientology-based rehab center? How do you feel about taking money from the Church of Scientology that has been taken from poor innocent victims, and you're now taking that as a commission, for example? Maybe got the program for free. Maybe you didn't get a commission. Maybe they're paying you to go to the rehab center and make vlogs about it. I don't know, but how do you feel about working for a criminal cult organization that rips apart families, that destroys people's lives, that bankrupt them? There's a lot that actually happens, guys, and I know you think, oh, he talks about Scientology so much. Why don't you just put this video on your Scientology channel? Because this video, yes, could have gone on my Scientology channel, but this goes more or along the drama channel line, I feel like, because Shay is a very big YouTube vlogger, and he's created a lot of controversy by associating himself to this Narconon program. And I really feel like someone who's been there, done that with Scientology for so long, that I have a responsibility to point out that this is a very dangerous program. Before someone else goes and gets sucked into this program, I hope someone types in Narconon, Scientology, or actually looks it up and comes across my video and watches it before signing a contract to give X amount of dollars and 90 plus days of your life to Scientology to start going through their brainwashing procedures to maybe harm their health in their sauna detox program. I feel like someone like Shay, who's an influencer perhaps, needs to actually learn a lesson and say, hey, let me look into this before I start telling other drug addicts or people who are at a very low, vulnerable point in their life, hey, let's go look into this Narconon program. It sounds so great and wonderful. And really, all the money gets fed right directly to the Church of Scientology, and you have a responsibility to look into that. Before you start sending people over to the Narconon Center, actually see, what do they really do? Like, they may be nice, they may be friendly on the outside, but what's really happening behind the scenes at Narconon? What am I really supporting when I tell people, oh, go to Narconon Ojai? It sounds so wonderful, it's so beautiful, I can sit on a rock and I can meditate. Okay, that sounds wonderful, right? But what actually is the program? Who actually runs this organization? And I think, again, Shay really didn't do his due diligence before starting to make videos and promoting Narconon, because essentially, he's promoting the Church of Scientology that way. Again, I just wanted to warn you of the dangers of Narconon, Scientology, as well as alert you about Shay Carl and what he's doing, and I feel that it's absolutely disgusting that he's promoting the Narconon program when there's so many people out there who really do need help, and Scientology is just using Narconon to recruit people into Scientology.
If you're interested in hearing more stories about Scientology as well as my escape,
you can go down below. My channel is called Mangoetology. I have almost 100 videos, including a documentary about my escape from the Church of Scientology. So if you're interested, again, that's called Mangoetology. I'm also in Louis Theroux's film called My Scientology Movie. It's now on Netflix. It's also online if you're interested in seeing the film with Louis Theroux that I appear in. If you want to see more videos of me exposing YouTubers, if you want to stay tuned on all the latest drama about YouTube, please make sure to go down below and click the subscribe button here on Mango Tea. I'm working on making daily videos for you guys exposing YouTubers. I have many investigations and other things coming for you, so if you don't want to miss anything, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also, leave a comment down below. I love reading and hearing from you guys in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video.